Its waters support the plant life of the tropical climate through the wet and dry seasons, and its fish are a source of food for the villagers. There is no regular contact with the outside world for the members of the Bemba tribe who live on the island. When a boat comes into the village harbor, it is enthusiastically greeted by the children of the village. The waters of Lake Bangu U also provide a tropical playground for the island children and their elders. Chishi. There are no policemen on the island, but there are no thieves, and there is no electricity or public water system. There are no motor accidents on Chishi because there are no trucks or cars to cause them. The most modern vehicle is a battered bicycle that belongs to the Mopy family. Here in a rented store, which is part of the warehouse where the village oil and salt are stored, the richest man on the island conducts his business. Father Mopy is a tailor, and with the help of his old-fashioned hand-sewing machine, he practices what is considered to be the most modern profession in the village. He earns about $20 a month, which is twice that of most of his neighbors. Father Mopy is not sure of his exact age, but he is certain that he has 11 children, ranging from a 3-year-old baby to his oldest son in the early 20s. He enjoys working with his outdated machine, especially when the work is supplemented now and then with a thirst-quenching drink from his bottle. While her husband works in his store, Mother Mopy digs taro, a kind of potato, which she will use as the family's staple food. She and her daughter will peel, dry, and make a kind of flour out of the taro. The Mopy sons provide an important source of food for the family by catching fish from Lake Bangu U. Since a refrigerator is unheard of in Chishi, the boys simply go out in a canoe and catch as many fish as they need just before dinner. The 18-year-old eldest son suffered a disease called trachoma when he was young and lost the sight of one eye. The second son is 14, and both are in the same class in school. Now that you've seen how the Mopy family works and lives, do you think that their way of life and the island's culture can survive in an industrial world? Seven-year-old Ivo comes to tell his father dinner is almost ready. The very nature of Father Mopy's work, made possible because of a machine, small and crude though it is, shows that change has already come to the island's life. But what would happen to Father Mopy and his family if a trader were to find that he could profitably sell ready-made clothes on the island? The use of Chishi's only bicycle, a great treat for little Ivo, already represents an assimilation of Western ideas, and there have been other changes. The people of Chishi no longer live a communal tribal existence, and today the family units, like the Mopys, have become very important. They use a sewing machine and a bicycle, and as you continue to watch them, what are some other changes you can see being made in the Mopy's life by outside influences? At home, the mother and daughters are pounding taro with wooden paddles. It It has already been peeled and left to dry before it is made into flour in the traditional manner. The girl working alongside her mother is Cornelia, the 22-year-old second daughter. All the food required by the family is prepared in this simple, self-sufficient way. The Mopy's bicycle suffers a flat tire on the way home and has to be pushed the rest of the way. On reaching home, Father Mopy is greeted by his 10th daughter. The 3-year-old toddling after her is the 11th child and the youngest of the family. Even though the Mopys raise a few chickens, eggs are rarely added to the diet. Hot water is poured over the taro, which is kneaded into a kind of starch cake before it is served. Homemade cups carved from gourds are used for drinking water. Mother Mopy prepares the food for her large family, and a simple meal is quite an undertaking, even with the help of a very young daughter. Few households on the island use soap. Why is this custom of the Mopy family considered strange? Finally, the meal is ready. But according to custom, the family does not eat together. The women and children eat alone on the ground in front of the house. Every family on the island has the same menu of taro, cooked beans, and fish, repeated day after day. How can you account for this lack of variety in meals? Inside, in a room decorated with an old calendar, Father Mopy and his eldest son dine alone. You'll notice that they sit very properly in chairs at a table and eat with forks. According to tradition, grown men do not eat with women and children, and this custom seems perfectly natural to all the members of the Mopy family. What do these two separate facts tell us about Zambian culture today? But even the isolated island of Chishi is part of the new independent Africa, however, and the role of women is changing. A Zambian newspaper poll indicated that most men disapproved of the practice of striking their wives. Finally, another day is over in the life of the Mopy family. You can see what a simple house they live in. There are gourds for storing water, and the younger children sleep in the same bed. Remember, this is the house of the richest man on the island. What does that tell us about the people of Zambia living on Chishi? During the night, a heavy windstorm lashes the island. Since it's the dry season, there is no rain, and the villagers are used to the pounding waves that are the result of these violent men. The next morning, the windstorm has died down, and the waters of Lake Bangu U are calm once more. The Mopy children are getting ready to go to school, and as usual, they wash and scrub their teeth on the shore of Lake Bangu U. You can see how important the lake is to the villagers' well-being. And the children are accustomed to scrubbing their teeth each morning. Is this the way you brush your teeth? If, of course, you do each morning. An old brake drum serves as the school bell, and children from the island village come running as the school day begins. When the children arrive, there is great excitement when they learn that much of the school's thatch roof has been blown down by last night's high winds. Now, this doesn't mean that the students will enjoy a holiday. On the contrary, although there are no workmen available, Chishi is an island where even the children learn to be self-sufficient. The pupils seem to welcome the chance to repair the school roof under the direction of their teachers. And the teacher of this mathematics class is Ustina, the oldest daughter of Father Mopy. Upon graduation from junior high school, she became a substitute teacher. Father Mopy can be proud of his daughter, for she is one of the best educated villagers on the island. A new emphasis on education has come to the remote island of Chishi, for children must now go to school in Zambia at age 7 and continue for at least 7 years. The actual rate of school attendance, despite the official law, is about 70%, but this is rather high for the newly independent African countries. In addition to such subjects as mathematics, the children of Chishi study English from the 4th grade. Unlike their parents, who speak only the tribal Bemba dialect, the children of Chishi are learning the language of the larger world beyond the shores of Lake Bangu U. Can you think of reasons why the people of Chishi should learn English? In the country of Zambia, there are some 60 different tribes, and the villagers of Chishi belong to the Bemba, one of the 3 largest. The old tribal communities have broken down with the coming of political nationalism, compulsory education, and a higher economic level. Yet the custom of communal farming is still practiced by the women of Chishi as part of their traditional tribal duties. Father Mopy works at his trade of tailor on the island, but the new economic development of the country has caused many of the younger men to leave their families and seek employment in the copper mines, Zambia's principal industry. For those villagers left on Chishi, some kind of shared communal life may closely resemble the old tribal community. Now, what does all this tell us about the changing nature of Zambian culture? Every Sunday, the Mopys go to the only church on the island wearing their Sunday best. Since Father Mopy is a tailor, it is relatively easy for him to provide his family with nice clothes. The village school teachers, who could also be called community leaders, are active in the church activities on the island. The missionary priest, who has been active for the past 10 years in the Lake Bangu U area, comes in a motorboat from the other side of the lake every Sunday. Mass is conducted in a mixture of the Bemba language and church Latin. The missionaries' teaching has had a great effect upon the islanders. For example, the custom of buying a wife as a matter of course, and the practice of having more than one wife cross cabin cruiser, a kind of mobile outpatient clinic, appears in the village harbor. Of all the craft that comes to Chishi, the arrival of the Red Cross boat is perhaps one of the most welcome. A young Dutch nurse is in charge of the boat's medical team. To the islanders who have no full-time doctor, the visit of this nurse and the Red Cross boat represent the coming of modern medicine to Chishi. Such mobile health clinics take part in the Zambian government's Under 5 clinic plan. Have you ever been weighed this way? Are you sure? With the departure of the Red Cross boat, the island returns to its former quiet peace. The young girls knit intricate patterns under the African banana trees. Soon they will have to find shelter indoors with the coming of the rainy season. For the present, Chishi and its families live in a sort of isolated tranquility. But new ideas and a new world are surely coming across the waters of Lake Bangu U.